All right. So now we can really start. So good morning to everyone. This is the second webinar that we are doing to follow up the one from the first quarter. So you will see throughout this session some updates from last time, and also some new information that we did along the way and that we didn't really talk about before. So that's also the intention of these webinars, in order to bring you new information and new activities and new initiatives that we are doing in Robuschi. So as the last time, we will go through a quite extensive agenda. You will see the follow-up from all the activities that we've kicked in during the conference. Then you will see some more details on the CEP part, so non-standard products, exploded drawings activities as well, documentation languages, Robux Direct Class 0, aftermarket update and marketing update, where I was hoping with Nora and Christina to join, but unfortunately she can't. I hope they can hear me. And then we will do a Q&A and then a closure, and then open up for the next webinar. So as the last time, if you've joined, you will see you've seen this before, and you should be familiar now with the system. If it's your first time using ReadyTalk, you should see in your screen the main window where I'm presenting the slides right now. And on your left side, you should have a box where you can type questions, and you can even raise your hand. So if you raise your hand, I will see it. Typically, a lot of people are playing with it. I see that you are all very serious right now. But if you raise your hand, I will see it. I'll have something popping up mentioning that someone wants to write. As you can notice, you can't speak because it's the way the system is being built. But you can write questions. So I will do the same thing as I did last time. I will park the questions that need a little bit of discussion and a little bit of explanation for the end of the session. And if there are questions along the way that I can just answer because they're easy and quick, I will answer them. I will answer them right away. All right. So this slide is the update from all the activity that we have kicked in since October, the time that we did our conference in Italy. I hope the screen is not too small for you guys to see the details, but I will run through it quickly. And anyway, this is what I'm using to update you on the activity from a deeper level with the next slide. So some of those will be detailed in the coming slides for you to have a better understanding of what has been done and where to find the information. So if we look at what we've completed, so we worked quite a lot with the CEP team, the non-standard team, to implement some processes that were not in place. And that will support, I'm sure, the business in that point of view. I will explain that to you a little bit more in detail just after. Then we worked on the engineering part for the drawing, the manual, and that also I will present it to you. That was a strong point that you guys made in October. So we started the initiative. We're almost complete, but we want to make sure that you guys can see the progress. The information are on RepsNet. So if you haven't seen them, it's the perfect moment to know where to find them and how to use it. So I'm gonna run it through you to make sure that you guys know that it's live and updated. From a marketing point of view, so we're launching the newsletter for Gartner Denver. That I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. The webinar launch, so that we've seen that already last quarter we were we were doing it, so we were a little bit ahead of schedule. And also with some distributors, we're launching next week the roundtable initiative. So this is definitely something that we will bring up in the next session to explain what we've been discussing and how things went and what are the next actions to be done. I presented you the initiative in the last quarter, so you should all be familiar with. Some of the activities have been delayed. You see, I've grayed out some of the activities. Some of the presentation and the project on the aftermarket side have been a little bit delayed. So yes, we had a challenging list to complete. We're still targeting to be done by the end of Q2. It's just taking a bit of time, a bit more time than what we expected. So that's why we've been delaying some. So not a big deal. Everything has started. It's just not completed yet, and we need just a few more weeks to complete and make sure that we launch it. So overall, still on time, and still a good progress in my view. A lot of new things happening that were not present before, and a lot of supporting material for you all to make sure that you're supported in the right way. So if I look at now the CEP side, so the CEP is the non-standard part of Robuschi, and when we quote products that are not standard. So the team sitting in Parma, led by Stefano Santelli, that I'm sure you know all, has been working intensively in the past month to set up some processes and some procedures in the way quotes and projects are being handled to streamline everything and make sure that we're the most efficient possible. One of the things that we started doing was to track performances in a way that now we're able to know how much time it takes in order to quote a non-standard product. So as you can see at the top of the slide, some KPIs have been put in place in order to target the team to have a turnaround time of, and the goal is 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is basically the moment that we are aiming for from when the request has been sent from you guys to the moment that the CEP team quotes. It's a challenging target as an average because, as you know, there are some projects that are very complex and very heavy to manage with a lot of specifications. So the 2 weeks number is the average because some of the projects also are very light, and we're talking about a very small modification that should not take 2 weeks to quote. So it's an average time. The next step will be to introduce also a complexity factor in the mix, meaning that those projects that I've just mentioned, which are very simple to quote and simple to quote, I shouldn't say that are taking less time to quote than a very complex project with specification. Those particular projects should be targeted in a couple of days, maybe 1 week more, not 2 weeks. And the very large one with heavy specification, technical clarification, and so on, no way 2 weeks will be enough, we know, because we'll have probably vendors kicking in, needed to review specification and so on. So we'll extend the time. So at that moment, we'll be in a position to tell you, okay, if it's a light modification, it'll take a couple of days, 1 week. If it's a medium modification, it'll be 2 weeks. If it's a heavy spec job, it'll be 3 weeks, something like this. That way you know how to navigate with your customers and have an idea what to expect in terms of turnaround time. We're not there yet. With the first KPI being implemented, it will give us some visibility on what we're doing right now. And to give you a number, in the past 2 weeks, we've been looking at the turnaround quote time on average, and we're just above 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is 10 working days, and I think we're cruising around 12, 13 as a memory. So still taking a little bit of time, working on the process to improve, and then introduce the next step, which is how to be very specific on the type of project to be the most efficient possible and aggressive in terms of timing from that point of view. Stefano will be able to explain you everything in more detail if you ask him directly, is leading this activity. The other part that has been done on the CEP side is the introduction of product technical specification. So we've just finished this recently, and this will be uploaded on RepsNet. So what you see on the slide here, the screenshot, is just a screenshot of an Excel that exists for Robux load, Robux screw below 1 bar, and Robux screw above 1 bar. This Excel spreadsheet is basically the supporting material for you to be able to fill in order to give to the CEP team to say, all right, the product is standard, but this part has to be customized based on this information. So in the list that you have on the checklist here, you have all the components that are building our standard product. And then on the table, you have the possibility to have more details on what the standard material and components are, and also to change it manually if it has to be something else based on the specification. So you can see that I have highlighted some the bottom tab, which I want to show you more in detail. So for example, here you see the product, the component specification for suction gauge, discharge gauge, and earthing. Because the thing is that you need to know first what we supply in standard to discuss with your customer to see if it's acceptable. So not only the checklist will allow you to list out what has to be customized based on which specification or which parameters, it also includes what we are supplying in standard. So for example, on a project, if your customer is saying we have a specific gauge to be used, you could directly look at the specification in standard and discuss with him if this is acceptable or not. If it's not acceptable, then no problem. You just have to fill in the checklist according to the customer specification and send it alongside with the project request to Stefano's team to be quoted. So it's just to give you some more information on what our standard product specifications are in order to use as a baseline for discussion to see if it's good enough for the customer to be used or if it has to be customized. I've also put the rest of the information that are available in the Excel spreadsheet. So you have suction silencer, discharge silencer, safety valve, and paint spec, which are typically the type of information that people are looking for or asking us to modify. So it's just a baseline of what our standard product is composed by. And then to discuss with the customer. So this is a lot of good information. I'm sure that along the way, for those of you that have been dealing with Robuschi for a long time, have been asking those questions and have been probably having already the information. So you see that some of the information are coming from the manuals, other are being created. And so on. It's just a nicer way to have it centralized and formatted in one single document based on the product that you're looking at. All right, so that was it for CEP. Moving on to exploded drawing. So that was a big point that we discussed in Italy. How to know what parts to replace and what is what. So the request was put to have exploded drawing or parts list, as some of you are familiar with, which were not existing in the past and that needed to be present to facilitate service, parts, purchasing, and so on. So you can see that a lot of informations are available now and being done, and I will show you some of the example. We are also along the way updating the presentations of the standard products, including those documents. So you will see it in as a Q2 result. So for the next quarter. But I wanted to give you a hint of already what's available on RepsNet, and what information you can find as of today. So you see here on the table everything that is available in terms of exploded drawing for errands. And the one that is missing is the RVS vacuum pumps, but they should be done within the next 2 weeks. So just a few more days to wait, and you'll have it. So let's go to the practical side. Where to find it? So on RepsNet, if you go to technical data and then spare part list and parts drawing, this is where you will find the information. So you go there, then as usual, you select the brand, the technology, and then you can look at the documents that are available. So I took the example of the Lobe, which is a popular model being sold that I think all of you are familiar with. And you see here some new exploded drawing that were not existing before. The one that I've seen in the past were more cutaway style, 2D drawings where you could see just a few parts, and it was quite difficult to read out. So I'm sure you see nothing right now, so that's why I used a more zoomed in view. So you can see here the way it looks like. So it's a traditional exploded drawing, 3D drawing, where you see every single part with a reference number and a description. So it's quite a good step forward, to be honest, in order to have more understanding and a better reference when it comes to parts constituting our errands. And I'm sure, I have no doubt this will help you. Just because I can appreciate that you can't really see what's in the table, the top table, and I wanted to explain something about it. I've extended as well. So you can see the table basically is built like this. You have the reference number that is coming from the drawing. You have a description, so you can see the first one is left side foot, the second one is right side foot, etc., etc. Then you have quantities used to build the machine, and then you have information about the material. One of the things that you could wonder is, where's the part number? Where's the part number of that particular part that I can directly give to Bruno in order to be able to be ordered? Well, this is the challenge. As you know, we have a very, very broad range, and it's just impossible to create exploded drawings for all or variations of all our errands. So the approach that we took was to have a generic and standardized drawing for the technologies, so the one that you've seen on the previous table, referencing it with a generic name, so left side foot, right side foot, regulating plate, etc., and a code that could be then sent to aftermarket alongside with the serial number of the machine that you want to service, so you want to order a part for, and say, okay, I have this machine, serial number XYZ, etc., I need to order a right side foot, which is the reference 10A from the drawing XYZ. Doesn't matter. And then with this information, Bruno is able to know right away what you're talking about and pull up the right part number associated to the serial number and give a quote to you. So one of the missing links in the whole process with spare part and Robuschi was the capability to reference the parts correctly in a more accurate way than what has been done before, and most of the time it was a picture, or it was a description, or it was a term that means something to someone but not to the person that it's being talked to, and so on. So at least we will have the same baseline to reference with the drawing numbers and description that we can all share and use in order to get parts quoted and sold. I've also just used it for the sake of showing an example of a liquid ring pump, as you can see, as a centrifugal pump, as you can see here. So I strongly believe that this is a good step forward. There's still work to do. We still need to get familiar with the process all and use it. But as of today, the drawings are available on RepsNet. I definitely advise you to check them and see if you have questions or comments. But they're there and you can use it. Okay, I see no questions so far, so I will keep moving on. Documentation. So yeah, that was another big point as well that we discussed during the conference. How to manage to have all documents in all possible languages that are required throughout the region. Well, of course, this is not possible to be done all at once. Takes time. But there is a possibility, and more importantly, now there is a process. On RepsNet, what you're going to see is you're going to see this table that I've uploaded here on the slide. The table is basically combining all the documentation existing for the product, so manual, service, drawings, etc., and the languages that are being populated already. So it would not surprise you that they all exist in Italian and in English, and few of them are existing in French, German, Dutch, etc., etc. So the idea is basically for you to see and know whether the document that you're looking for is available already or not. If it doesn't exist, so the process is the following one. If it doesn't exist, we will create it for you with the order. So when an order is being placed, you absolutely need to let us know in the order what document or what language you need it to be translated to, and we will do it after receiving the order. We will not do it proactively because you can see it's pretty obvious from the table that it's quite empty for a lot of languages, and we can't have all those translated as one. So as long as there is an order placed on a particular machine with documents that are not existing, just have to specify in the order that the document don't exist in your particular language that you're looking for, and we will translate it for you. There is no extra price to consider for it. We will do it as part of the price of the machine, but I just want to make you aware that it might have an impact on the lead time. I'm mainly thinking about products that have a very quick turnaround time of a few weeks or 1 week. This will be a real challenge for us to have it translated in a short period of time. So my advice to you would be, as long as you know you have a hint of the order coming, please let us know in order to anticipate as much as possible. So the document will be uploaded on RepsNet. You will see a communication for it. It will be an email restated exactly what I said, and you'll be able to see it. So just in the coming weeks, you'll see this document with the process explained. I see a question from Stefan. Is the translation for free or not? Yes, as I said, and it's written on the slide, there is no need to consider extra fee for translation. So as long as there is an order sent to us and the confirmation of the document you need, it will be included in the deliverables that we're going to provide with the machine. No problem, Stefan. All right. So I also wanted to do a bit of teasing for this beautiful product. I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm just going to tell you that you need to register and show up for the webinar that we're going to host on the 29th of April. We're gonna launch the product officially and present you with some of the technical details, features, and available documentations for you to know where to find what and be familiar with. But I'm not going to do it now. I'm just telling you that the product is almost ready. We're finishing the last details, and we're ready to launch. So we're gonna look at who participated today and make sure that you guys are here at the end of the month for for the webinar launch. One last point regarding products, Class 0. So we've been discussing it a little bit in Italy. Just wanted to tell you that we are very close to complete the activity, meaning that we've been testing lobe and screw errands, having the tooth Renard coming and performing and witnessing the test. And they've confirmed that we successfully passed according to ISO 8573, which is basically what qualifies our errand Class 0. So we have been receiving the draft certificate, as you can see. We're just validating it internally, making sure that it's okay. And I would say that probably within this month, probably sooner than later, those will be populated and communicated to you all. So it's a good step forward to align with the expectation from the market. Class 0 has been around now for quite some time, and I know that some people are asking to have the confirmation that our products are Class 0, so they will be available. Just for you to know, we haven't changed anything on the products. We just have them tested. When I say I haven't changed anything, I mean we didn't do any adaptation compared to what the product were before in order to have them Class 0 certified. So it was just a matter of having them certified by the right body. We used one in the past that was a little bit more cumbersome to use, so now we just followed what the others are doing, because AirZen also is using tooth Renard to do so. All right. So aftermarket. So that's the moment where things now are going to get interesting. I'm gonna host this one live actually. Nora, I hope that you can hear me, and I hope that everything I'm going to say and promise will not harm you. All right, so I'm joking. I know I've looked at the presentation and I've been part of the emails that have been exchanged to you all. So some of the things that you're going to see here are already being communicated and should only be a statement of what has been done already. So liquidating service kits. So those kits are now available for order, and you have the prices that have been sent. And the details are all available on RepsNet. So it's just the normal way it's supposed to be. It was not existing as before, and Nora put together the process where you can see now on RepsNet the details, the technical information of what the kits are composed by. You have the price list also to price them to your customer, and you can order them directly to the spare parts team. So huge improvement and step forward for those products that are quite popular, and for which we receive quite a lot of questions and requests for spare part ordering. So this one is being checked. Now we can move to the next one. Alongside with the initiative and the fact that now we're launching more and more service kits and making sure that people understand that we are structured and we have the tools behind to support the service business. We've been launching a promotional offer for service kits. So you see that I hope that first you've received the email and you've carefully looked at it, and you were happy and pleased about it, and that you're already being buying to it. The promotional offer is valid until the end of April, so you have to hurry in order to benefit from the promotion, and it's valid for every Robuschi service kit. So it's very wide, and I must say it's very interesting. So I have no doubt that any of you have plenty of machines in the field available to be serviced with those service kits. So have a look at it. Make sure that you cover your bases and that you have all the machines installed on the radar, that you have the list. and look at which kits are required to be purchased. So we can support you if you have any trouble with the promotion offer that is not clear, or if you have issues getting information. I think you understand what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create some excitement around this product that has been probably not promoted enough in the past from our side, because it's a great product that will enhance business for us all. First, it's a basic to have in order to be able to provide service to our machine. But second, and more importantly, it's the door to our customer and to ensure that we're here providing, that you're here providing good services. So Nora has been putting together this promotional campaign to create some excitement and buzz around it. We just need you guys to get it going and lift off. So again, if any questions, don't hesitate to ask Nora. She's leading the initiative. Alongside with this, of course, not only we have put in place the technical information and the details through emails, but we also have some promotional documents and material to explain the parts philosophy and the product as such from the service point of view. So these have been created from Nora and Christina. They put this together, so they're available on RepsNet or directly on our website. So it means that people can download them. I would strongly advise you to have a look, save them, and make sure that you use them as much as possible. Even much so that you can use it when you send the whole good machine, because it's also an add-on that often is forgotten to be used when you quote a machine that you provide also information or prices for spare parts. So now you have a material to engage a discussion and share with your customers. Robuschi branded oil. So you probably saw it in the first slide where I had the overview, the summary. This has been pushed to Q3. Takes a little bit of time to put it together. So as always, we would tend to think that it's an easy thing to put together, but it's actually not. Requires quite some alignment and some bordering, as you can imagine. That not having it controlled in the past required some digging and some cross-checking to make sure that what we are going to put together makes sense and will be successful. So just taking a little bit more time, but for sure we're not forgetting about the initiative. Huge part here, training. I think you are all starving for training, and the sessions are being built together, the training courses as well, and Claudia has already been sending the information to you in order to advise what is available and what is available and when. So starting this September, there are sessions that are being scheduled, and the details are on RepsNet. Neil, I see that you are raising your hand. Yes, if you have a question, don't hesitate to type. I'm going to keep talking until I see your question. So the training, okay. Any sales training for distributors? That's a good question. It's a very product training. It's a very good question. So as I mentioned in the previous webinar, from a product point of view, we're going to use the first semester, so Q1 and Q2, to update the presentations. And basically to revitalize the presentation, making them nicer, concentrate the information all together, that they're not spread around, as I explained on the CEP part, for example. Semester 2 will be the moment where we're going to start rolling out training. So there also you'll have more information on the training that will be available. I don't know yet how we're gonna do it, whether we're gonna do webinars or Skypes or on-site training locally or in Parma. We still need to discuss, but the starting point is having the material ready. So within probably June, we're gonna start discussing the format that we're gonna use for the second semester. And to be honest, when I'm thinking about it now, probably by September, so after summer, we will start launching. So what you're saying is locally by sales manager in respective region. Yeah, indeed, that's a very impactful way to have a couple of locations. So I'm sure you're thinking about Middle East, where we can have sales managers and also product managers from the factory being sent over there to perform training, and have a couple of guys from local territories joining this session. So that's definitely one of the ways, and definitely it's going to happen. I just can't tell you now how and when, but this is in my particular plan for the second semester of 2019. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, Neil saying it's difficult to travel to Italy for some people. It's true. It takes time. The logistics is difficult, and it's going to be probably easier for us to bring the knowledge to you guys than the opposite. Yeah, definitely. All right. So back to the point for the training. You should have all the information. I will tell you that there are limited spots. So first come, first serve. So the longer you take, the further away the training session will be. So make sure that you register as quickly as possible to fill in the spots because they're intended to be specific and impactful training. So we're not going to have a long list of attendees per training. The idea is to make sure that when the people take the time to come, that they're being trained and they understand what has to be understood, and they go back home with the knowledge in order to take on activities. Last point on RepsNet that Nora put together. So you see here what has been uploaded recently. So it's a great way also for you to know what has been added to RepsNet. You don't necessarily see unless you go and you check regularly what has been put. So now you can see that not only the liquid ring kits that I've presented you a couple of slides before were uploaded, but we also have now RBS's kits also for the entire range. So a pretty important model here to account, and as well as the Robuschi T's and C's for serves. So make sure that you also use them in your quotes, and that you check them also. It's a pretty important piece of document to be considered. All right, so that was all for the aftermarket side. I can see I'm running a little bit out of time. Just a few slides more. Now I'm gonna present you the marketing update. So we've been launching some web campaigns. Some of you have been part of it. I've seen. So for the aquaculture part, that was one of the big key vertical area for the past year and also the first quarter of the year. I can tell you it will never go away as business is taking off, as feedback is getting better and better. We're getting a very positive trend in this market, and I can take the opportunity here to have hats down to Magnus from Norway. He's an active stakeholder in all of this, so I'm sure you're probably smiling right now. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting story, and I'm sure down the line we will be able to share a little bit more information to explain everything that has been happening in the backside and the result that we've been getting. So of course we're not only talking about Robuschi here. I'm going to digress a little bit to Elmo Richley. We're looking at Garner Denver to attack this vertical that is not PD blower ish. We're looking at it from a Garner Denver point of view. So it's trends brand, trends product, trends department. It involves everyone. So recently there's been the Agronomy Fair in Dubai. You can see here a picture of our beautiful booth that we had. Quite some activity, quite some good meeting and good discussions with the customers. it's a very, very interesting way to promote our business. So we will really looking forward to do more. We just wanted to share with you this hint, and that you will see more and more about the aquaculture side on our website and on our communication, because it's becoming a more preeminent part of the business. Wastewater treatment and biogas. So that that's one of our top priority focus for 2019, and we're starting now to roll out the material and the documents to start being promoted in a more intensive way. So we've been launching some campaigns, we've been having some dedicated websites, we've been having webinars, white papers, and so on. So there you're going to see the focus really kicking in the coming months. I cannot explain you in just a 1 minute time everything that is happening, has happened, and is happening. But you're going to see a lot of publication and communication on that particular vertical. In June, when we're going to see us all in Rome, you're going to have a more in-depth explanation of the plan for wastewater treatment and biogas, the supporting document, and what we are planning to do. So as for the aquaculture, we are attending some specific trade shows. We've had one recently in the Netherlands, and we will have some in the coming months as well that we're going to attend. So definitely a huge focus and a huge amount of work being put together by Christina and the rest of the team. I have no doubt that you will see more and more about wastewater treatment and more of us in this sector. I also strongly invite you to contact us if you need support, if you have questions in this vertical that is known as the number one for blower business, but still have a lot of information and business to unveil. So in April, so what you're going to see is newsletters being rolled out. So we've been working to put together some key information on some key departments or key initiatives, product launch and trade shows and so on. You will see that newsletters are going to be now sent out on a regular basis, whether from a global perspective. So you see at the top that we're going to showcase a specific site in the pepper industry where we're having some successful with the Robuschi product, and in wastewater treatment where we're going to focus on a specific approach, which is the circular economy, and also presenting an interview with Russell explaining what's the aim for Gardner-Denver, where we want to go, and what we're intending to do. So newsletters are becoming more and more predominant in our way of communicating, because it's a good way to give in a very few hints what's happening, and also give access to more information through links if you guys want to dig more or find more information. So you're going to see them coming to your mailbox. The intention is definitely not to load you with. We're going to also send them to some customers that are accepting to receive those. Of course, we have to ask now before. And that's going to support all the initiatives that we're having in the background. There is going to be one also dedicated for distributors, and this one is going to be pretty important for you all to focus on, because we're going to summarize and present everything that has happened and is going to happen in between newsletters. So you're going to know there what has happened, what trade shows we've attended, event that we've been doing, and so on. You're going to know also new material available and documentations, everything that you guys need to know that has being uploaded or happening, all the successes in a very condensed way. So you see here the a screenshot of the first one that is showcasing our kickoff that was done in Germany, where we kicked the year off and had some product presentations. So you're gonna know more within this month when this newsletter is going to be shared with you guys. Brochures also have been updated. They're now available on the website and website. And as we presented you in the last webinar, you can also customize and using your own logo with the Robuschi distributor style guide. So not a lot of you are buying to the initiative, but I'm going to restate and emphasize on the fact that it's a very impactful way. So if you still don't know how to do, or if you still have questions, go to Christina, ask her. She will be able to support you. We definitely need you guys to use it because the tool is available and it's quite impactful, and we're more than happy to support you with. So the brochures now are available, new style, new painting, and so on. We're launching the release of the new product with painted panels as of right now. So there are pre-series being built. It has not been communicated yet to everyone because we have a limited number of machines to be sold. So we're controlling it to make sure that the supply chain works and there is no flow in it. But we are going to relaunch it in a very short period of time for the first machine, which will be the Lobe print size 1, 2, and 3. And one of the highlights that has happened in the last month, so in March, we've had a webinar being done towards the circular economy. I've mentioned it already a couple of slides before. Russell hosted the webinar successfully with 40 people. We had a lot of people registering. The thing that you have to know is it was open to everyone. I hope that most of you guys attended the webinar. If you have not, if you had some issues getting connected or receiving the invite, please let us know. Let me know. It's something that we definitely need to work on because it was a very interesting webinar and a lot of information were shared. It's also a strong message sent to the market that we are present in this business and we want to do more. So it was our first communication broadly regarding wastewater treatment. There will be more, and we all need to be part of it because it's a matter of communication, it's a matter of message, and it starts from us, but it also continues through you and with you. Alrighty, so that was the last slide that I had. I don't think that there is a lot of questions. I believe I've answered them throughout the way. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes for you guys to type if you do have questions. I see no one raising hands. In any case, if you do have questions, whether you think about it during this day or whether if you listen to the recording later or anyway, you can always contact me, Christina, Nora, who are also supporting on the aftermarket side and the marketing side. We are here to help and support. The idea is just to make things better and to enhance the communication towards you and make sure that we get feedback to get the wheel spinning. So don't hesitate to get back to us. We definitely love having feedback, whether it's positive or it's negative. If it's negative, send it to Christina. If it's positive, send it to me. All right. So I'm just going to recap very briefly. I went over time. We had some issues at the beginning, so I'm going to say it was okay that I took a bit more time. So we went through the following points. Activities that have been completed based on the discussion we've had in Gardaland, focus on non-standard product processes and available new documentations. Drawings, exploded air and drawing that will help you referencing better parts to be purchased to the Spurt Part team in Brno. How to order, how to ask for documentation in languages that don't exist. A small teaser about the Robux Direct that is going to be launching in 3 weeks now. Some preliminary information about the Class 0 certificate that are going to be populated within this month. All the aftermarket initiatives that are being launched, so service kits, promotional campaigns, marketing brochures, and trainings. So a lot of activity there and still more to come. And all the supporting documentation from marketing, webinars, newsletters, campaigns, trade shows that we're having completed and that we are going to complete in the coming month. So that's it. I just have to thank you all for attending. I'm going to definitely look forward seeing you all in Rome. I will wish you a very nice day and a very nice weekend. And again, if you have any questions, just send it to us. We'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll talk to you the next time. Bye. Bye, guys.